My favorite bit of Jackass is Steve-O doing the goldfish in Florida. Just because we just started Jackass, and we were going to do some other half-ass bit, and his car broke down. This beater of a car.
We just kidnapped him from his flea market circus. And we started driving, and all of a sudden the car broke down in, like, I don't know, some little Haitian ghetto.
We were like sitting there, what do we do? And Steve was like, I don't know, go get some goldfish. Yeah. You know, it just came up that way, and it was really good how it evolved.
Goldfish, dude.
You're such a kook.
No, the goldfish. Like, I worked in a flea market circus. And plus, I was so nervous, Knoxville had to introduce. He goes, I'm Johnny Knoxville, this is Steve-O, he's going to do the gold. Because I couldn't even utter the words. Unfucking believable how bad I've been as a talent. When that plays on TV the next day, boom. I'm still annoying, but getting major meat socket. My life changed overnight, dude, when the goldfish aired.
Which stunt did the most damage to you?
Maybe in February when we did the bucket cars and I broke my tailbone, and then we get an x-ray of my cock, which was extra small.
You can see poop in it too. It's like a little dinky dick on top of poop.
Like, MTV doesn't let you jump off of like 3 stories, but they'll show my x-ray dick. It was so embarrassing that I just had to let it go.
Oh, God.
Really?
How could you not let it go? That was amazing.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah. Well, my worst one was when I broke my wrist. Did they air the gay rollerblading? No, that was on CKY.
Yeah.
Well, Dunn would just sit down in a chair and, like, all of a sudden he had a concussion. You're like...
We had this slingshot chair, and everybody was getting shot and launched because of their weight, and I got on it, everybody pulled it back, and it started lifting up, and it fucking caught me in the cables, and I fell over. Everybody thought I was going to be, like, all tangled up in the thing.
The one stunt that injured me the most was blindfolded skateboarding. Dumbass puts a blindfold on and goes skateboarding and drops it on a vert ramp.
And he dropped down on it blindfolded on a skateboard. Just like a dumb shit.
Breaks his arm. Breaks my arm. What an asshole.
Fucking red wagon, dude. You know, you scrape a layer of skin off your ass, then every time you get up off a seat, you gotta peel your underwear off. It's just like 2 weeks of just misery. As opposed to butt piercing, over. Pain is cool when it doesn't last that long.
And Red Wagon wasn't even that memorable.
I know, dude. It was complete horse crap.
The most hurt I ever got filming the show was on Gumball Rally. I got in the shopping cart,
and
Steve pushes me over like this big flight of stairs, and I just go flying.
And he can't even walk properly down a flight of stairs for like 6 months after that went down. He's like, my knee is jacked. Like, that was a very long-lasting injury.
Yeah.
Sorry. You know, Knoxville has done a really good job of, like, putting, like, his chips on the right square.
Yeah.
As far as, like, taking a blow, like, when it really counted.
Johnny Knoxville rules. It's seriously, there's no question why he's the face of the show.
I actually have lost one of my testicles. And so, like, right then, I mean, even though I didn't feel it, it didn't hurt one little bit, I just knew right then I maybe better watch it. I figured out how to show my ball without showing you my dick, though.
Okay.
Yeah. The other one was chopped off.
Fuck, man. You know, if you ask me, like, I'll go through even more pain by far, as long as I don't have to work some crappy job, you know? Like, talk about the pain that you cause for your soul when you know you hate your fucking job, you know? You can put some staples in me, man, because I love my job because it makes people happy.
We finally found a stunt that Steve-O wouldn't do, which I find is the greatest accomplishment of anything I've ever done, is finding something that he wouldn't do, because he's pretty stupid. He'll do just about anything.
Steve-O did back out of a stunt, maybe wisely.
The only time, dude. The only time, dude.
The stunt that I wanted to back out of the most was that one where Tremaine wanted us to put a cell phone up our ass and receive a cell phone call. And I think everybody backed out of that one.
At that point, they weren't really making phones that small, because this is like 3-4 years ago. So
yeah, but it's funnier if it's a big phone.
That's why it became that idea, but it became a little unrealistic. So we had to compromise and make it a car. And
that's no compromise.
Well, I thought I could really bully Steve-O into it. And so I'm working on, come on, like, you just got to do it.
But Steve-O called his dad and told him about it, and his dad was very disappointed.
He said, oh no. Like, in a way that just
He drinks wine out of a dude's ass crack, but he can't put a car up his ass.
Yeah, some boys have morals.
And then Dunn walked through the door, magically, just happened to be in town, walked into the meeting. And I'm like, hey, Dunn, Steve-O won't shove a car up his ass. He's like, oh, like, you got to do it. He's like, I mean, it's got to get done. So if I'm the last person, it has to happen. So he really threw himself on the grenade and
Yeah, took one for the team.
made it happen.
I wanted to back out of the car my ass, but I didn't.
You liked it, probably.
Well, I got a car collection now.
She'll never look at little toy cars or Ryan Dunn the same ever again after watching the bit.
I didn't really back out of any stunts or skits, but a lot of my skits got shut down because they were stupid. They sucked. And they just weren't going to be funny because I'm not very funny. It's like, I think I'm funny.
The only thing I backed out of that I regret was in the movie. It was the alligator on the tip bite. Dimitri came up to me, he had a camera and a little baby alligator. He's all, let it bite your nipple. I'm like, nah. Next thing you know, Knoxville does it and he gets a free poster out of it, everything, all this. I was like, shit.
I also wanted to back out of the BMX joust because getting a joust, doesn't that hurt?
Yeah,
it hurts. I didn't want to do it.
I backed out of France.
When he gets drunk, he turns into a person everyone calls Darth. When he turns into Darth, it's just bad news.
Right after Gumball, we go to Paris, and Dave England meets us there. And the first night out, he's all giggly and thinks it'd be funny if he just shits on my doorknob.
It was funny.
I was trying to make friends with Bam, that guy. And to, like, impress him, I wiped my caca. I took a shit, and then I took the caca and rubbed it all over Jeff Tremaine's doorknob.
So I go home, I'm a little bit drunk, and I grab the doorknob and like, oh no. And, I got shit all over my hands, so I went in and washed my hands and sort of figured out who did it pretty quick because I could hear them giggling down the hall, and I knew it was Dave. And stupidly, Dave goes, from there, they go out and leave. So I go straight to Dave England's room, knock on the door. Gooch was staying with him at the time, so Gooch gladly opens the door. And at first, I just stood over Dave's suitcase, trying to take a crap into it. I'm like, just trying to force one out, but I just couldn't get it to come out. But luckily, all that pushing made me have to pee, so I just filled his whole bag with urine.
And I returned home, and my bag, which was zipped up because we were leaving to Amsterdam, was unzipped and wet, and including the stuffed animals I'd bought for my daughter. And I'm like, what is this? And I was sharing a room with Gooch. And I'm like, Gooch, what is this? And he wakes up and he goes, Tremaine pissed in your bag. So I just fucking went straight to the airport. I'm like, fuck this whole shit. Called up Amsterdam and canceled all the hotel reservations for the rest of the guys. Because, like, if I'm not going to have fun, no one should.
But he just leaves.
I just got up
Like,
and
you
left.
can't shit on a guy's doorknob and not expect to get something back. Especially Jeff.
I don't think that things have ever been the same between me and what's-his-face since.
It's a great story.
I would back out of any stunt that had to do with cold weather or cold water or shooting in Florida. I just really wasn't interested in shooting while we were in Florida. I had things to do, bars to go to. Jeff even yelled at me a couple times. We had a couple screaming matches in Miami.
It's the only 2 fights we ever had. We were both in Florida, I think.
Yeah. Dude, you're picking partying over drinking.
A hangover is never an excuse to be late for work.
And, in hindsight, he's right, but I was having the time of my life.
We're trying to film footage all day long, dude. Stunts all day long. As soon as we get done, we're trying to get drunk all night. As soon as we get done with that, then we're trying to get laid until the morning. And then it's like all over again. So, I mean, we're working on 0 sleep.
Even if you didn't go out, like, say there was one night where you just felt like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep because I know, like, for some reason the hotel there would just they gave us a whole wing of the hotel, and it was like a nightclub every night.